So, hello everybody. I'm not sure why this is zoomed in so much, but be it as it may. We're going to talk tonight a little bit about one of the aspects of good lifestyle life edit is editing means you're cutting pieces out, maybe putting pieces back in, and that is possibly part of all life processes. And one of the biggest processes of life is sometimes is that in order for you to remove something, you want to fill it up with something else again. You want to add a filler. Um, I'm not going to go into too philosophical with that particular thing, but what I'm going to mention is something very important for everybody, is that when you receive a gift from someone, you normally say thank you. You give a little bow. When you buy something from the shop, it's you exchanging energy and you just, okay, bye, or just turn around and walk away because you haven't made any contact with that person. You haven't expressed gratefulness. And one of the worst situations is a restaurant that people do not add a tip for the person that's doing you service. So the person that does not tip is normally the person who complains about the service and then doesn't tip. So they use that as an excuse. Now I'm just diving deep in, but because I know that little stories will help you ruffle your tail feathers a little bit, but it's important that we understand why things aren't going our way in life. It's because they're not going our way. And we don't realize, but we have to cooperate with so many people in life to get things to go our way eventually. Because you go to the shop and you see an item for 100 rand and you get excited about it and then you don't bother about it. You come the next week and it's 120 rand. You're still excited about the item, but you're not excited anymore that much because you didn't take action. So it's your fault that you didn't buy it when it was more reasonable. So these are just kind of examples that we have to start thinking about things that are small. And one of the things I learned, besides using biblical references, is the 10 lepers that came to Jesus, Yeshua, the Son of God, and asked, can you please take our leprosy away? And then I'm sure that nobody came near those men. Were they coming down the street? They just, people would have scattered. And he healed the 10. And when they looked at themselves and they said, we normal again, they walked away and only one turned around and came back and said, thank you, thank you. And that thank you changed his life because maybe those others might have had some habits that made them leprous. There's a certain kinds of food, there's certain kind of lifestyle that can actually make you eczema, give you those kind of skin sicknesses that are very bad. I've experienced this eczema as a child. I had to make sure that there was no pork in my life. I had to cut sugar out. There's a whole lot of things that had to change for me to be normal and not feel embarrassed being with people. I had to edit certain things. But coming back to thankfulness, these men, none of them walked away and one was thankful. Only one said thank you. There's a guy by the name of Ken Honda. You can go onto YouTube and Instagram, wherever he is found. And he's got some amazing courses that were hosted all over, even on Mind Valley, where he teaches people to say thank you. The Jewish word for Hebrew word is no, that's a Japanese. Japanese is arigato, and the Jewish Hebrew word is toda rabba. Toda rabba. It's like those two you put upon across over each other, then it gets a nice um, arigato da rabba. When we are thankful, now if you say thank you, just say thank you, thank you. Say it again, thank you. You don't actually feel it because you don't like, why must I say thank you? Well, that's an attitude. When you say thank you, you don't really say it because you mean it. I was in a Zoom call the other night where the speaker, and I would like to get her also on one of these calls. She said, sound carries intention. Sound carries intention. When you talk, you project your voice, your sound, and the waves and the way you're saying that coming out projects your feelings. And the person on the other side experiences that coming into their bodies. When you talk harshly or you swear, it it affects those you are facing, and when vice versa. So how much more can true thankfulness? I'm on following on video where people that give away money and they do little tests for people, like a waitress in a restaurant, and he says, bring me a teaspoon. I just want to see what the teaspoons look like. It's like, is that all? Yeah. Brings a teaspoon, puts it on the table, and he looks at it and he says, here's $500. And it's like, I don't understand. And it took him a while to convince her that she needed to take the money. And then he gave her a hug, and she came and gave another hug. And there was that total change of heart and mind because she really needed that money. She really felt that this was God sent. But sometimes we don't think we deserve it. Or sometimes we do, we think we do deserve things, and that's why we don't say thank you because the road must have no potholes. The robots must be always green for us. They must always be working. Our workers must always come in time for work. And we end up spending a lot of energy on negative emotions. That's why I have a guy working for me now. He was a long time on the street. Well, I don't know what he was doing, just odd jobs. And I said, come and help me and let's see. I'll come work 2 hours, another 2 hours, and I paid him for those hours that he worked. And some days he works the whole day. And when he does in an average 45% to almost double the work that the previous guy used to do. And I tell him, thank you for your help. Thank you so much for your help. And he's like, thank you, mister. It's a pleasure. And it helps me also to have a job. And we give him extra stuff like when we get potatoes extra or onions extra or whatever that we got extra. It's just something to send him home with so that he feels like he has got something. So we spend our lives being so living in the past and the future. And because we're living in the past and the future, we can't thank you for the moment. And thank you for the moment is there's a verse that says, giving thanks to God for all things. All things. I, you know what that means? That simply means that we have to thank Him for good and bad times. No, we're only going to thank Him for good things, good gifts, not bad gifts. When somebody comes with bad news, it's a bad gift. Matthew 5, and Luke 6 or Luke 7 speak about when people talk evil about you, it says, jump for joy when you get that news. What? Jump for joy? There, no, 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 no. Why? No, there's no reason for to jump for joy. So here's my, this is not going to be a long call, but this is going to be something that everybody will benefit from. Two, two last stories. The one guy came to, there's a Japanese billionaire, and he accepted a lot of people just walking into his home. Obviously, he had to be available or there to be spoken to. And this one guy came to me and he said, "Oh, I need you to loan me some money. I've got this business idea, but I'm cash strapped at the moment." And he said, No, I'm not going to do that, but what I am going to do for you is I'm going to give you a task to do. I want you to say thank you, arigato, 100,000 times a month for the next 3 months. And then, if that hasn't worked for you, then I will give you the loan. After 2.5, 3 weeks, this guy came back. He says, What? You back so early? You haven't finished your month? He says, I've said it probably 250,000 times in the last 3 weeks. I have had so much business coming in and people coming to me. I want to share a proposition with you to see if you would be interested in help and being part of this business proposition. His life had changed because he said, Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every time you go and purchase something from now on, and you tap your card or you give the cash, you say, thank you, and you mean it. Now, the story is that money is alive, and that money goes away and says, Oh, but look at his attitude, look at his spirit. I want to go back to him. I want to go back to her. Let us start practicing thankfulness from now on. Have a great evening or morning. I'm not sure when you're going to watch this recording, but this is definitely something that has changed my life, changed my household, and the thing that I have to remind myself and my family, be thankful and show it